Hey everybody, it's Mike Sullivan with Building Better Communities. Today we have Sankalp Swami, who is in the DC area in Maryland, right? And I get that right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good. Well, thanks for carving out time with us today. And what's your favorite part about being an engineer? Like, what gets you excited, gets you out of bed, and you're like, I love this job. This is cool. What is that?
Firstly, thanks, Mike, for having me here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would like to tell you that the best thing about being an engineer, like specifically in the field I am in, is the part we actually get to see the change we bring in.
Mm.
Like if we are doing any operations or any safety studies or any design, we actually see that change quickly, as quickly as it can get though, in real life. Like we can go see it in person how we are making changes to the community or to the general traffic operations, like how we are making the city safe and easier for people to navigate.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That is kind of cool because you can dream something up, put it on paper, do the math, get everything just right, and then you actually see it. You can drive it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's awesome. And you know what? Maybe is maybe not least favorite, but something that isn't your favorite part. What would that be in the day to
Yeah, the
day
least
world?
favorite part, I think, would be kind of along the similar lines what I said in the favorite, like basically is the pace of the industry in general.
Mm,
We plan to build something or have some designs or some traffic analysis and everything. Sometimes, though, there are like major delays. It can be due to the whole project phases. Some materials went out during the construction phase. Um, as recently, we had some like regulation changes, funding issues. All of those things can really delay things a lot. In the project phases itself, the timeline is pretty long sometimes.
mm,
So those additional outside things can also delay it even further. So that's when you were like you started out a project with a certain perspective of things or the data you were seeing at that time, but suddenly things get changed completely
mm,
after the delays or anything. So you are like unsure of like what the final result will show
mm.
uh, as compared to what you actually intended it to show at the
Yeah,
start.
yeah, totally. Yeah, delays aren't fun. In engineering, delays aren't fun in, in anything. So I get it. A
Yeah.
healing, like
Yeah,
so.
especially with
Yeah,
large scale projects, it's more prominent. The small
yeah,
scale projects, I think, is still like you won't see as much difference of what you intended and what came out there.
yeah,
With large scale projects, like such as if you're doing like a corridor project or like a whole BRT kind of things can change drastically in that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I can only imagine. And what if there's like a little sand cup out there, like a little you in middle school, high school, or maybe even someone in college that's thinking maybe I'm going to switch my major. What would you say to him or her if they're thinking of pursuing um, a job as an engineer? What would that encouragement be?
I would say be curious first would be that. Like I started off as a civil engineer in general because my father was a civil engineer as well. He's
Oh, okay,
retired now.
cool.
So I used to like sit with him and we used to see the studies he was doing, research work. He used to be professor.
Hmm.
So all the books and everything he had around, we used to be always inquisitive of what's going on in there. That made me like really curious about the whole engineering profession in general. But I think it can be out from anything from outside as well. Like you suppose you're traveling somewhere, you're on a plane, and you're like, okay, maybe aeronautical engineer or something,
Hmm.
mechanical engineering. So it's anything, like anything where you are going, you can be curious about that, and that can bring up your interest. And I would say, do not fear to explore things
Hmm.
as much as possible because sometimes if you start exploring you might not be aware of what you're heading towards at that time, but it can completely change your trajectory in life, in career, whatever, based on whatever you were exploring at that time.
That's so true. Yeah, to be curious, that's really awesome. That can lead to all kinds of beautiful conversations and growth. And
Yeah,
then the other one, to not be afraid, right? Is that what you said? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Do not be afraid, keep exploring,
yeah.
keep
Keep it.
looking at things. If you even if you think it's not relevant to you at that time, it might change your trajectory altogether.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's
Especially with the
awesome.
AI coming in now, like things are really up for grabs. You
Yes.
can be anywhere at certain future without knowing it at that moment.
Yeah, no, 100%. Totally agree. And Sankalp, thank you for sharing your time with us, for sharing your encouragement with up and coming engineers, and just thank you for what you do.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me here overall. Like what's the best thing I would like to ask you as well? Like what's the best thing you have seen while doing this process of the engineers and what you have come across so far?
Yeah, probably the one common thread that I think I've heard from many engineers is seeing a, their dream become a reality, like seeing what they design on paper or on the computer, and then they actually see it in real life.
Yeah.
That kind of is the one common thread that I've seen. And you know, you did pick up, or I mean, you mentioned the delay. So that's something I've heard from many engineers as well as maybe one of the frustrating parts. Sometimes things take a long time to get approved.
Yeah.
Like, is it a speed bump? Is it a speed table? Is it an intersection? Is it an off ramp? Is it a
There's so many moving parts in the whole industry in general that it can take a long conversation to come at some common point or common
Yeah,
ground.
totally. So many moving parts. Yeah, like you're saying, and that. So that's kind of the cool part because, and maybe the other element of the story that seems to be a common thread is that it's usually a family member. Not always. Sometimes, like you're saying it was your dad, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And sometimes it's the parents, the mom, the dad, and every once in a while, someone will say, "I didn't want to be an engineer at all. I never thought that," and now they are,
Yeah.
and they love it. So those are kind of the common threads, which are really cool. And I think I see more of those than the, I never thought I would do this, and now I'm doing it. That's kind of every once in a while, which is cool too. But yeah, I love hearing stories when it's passed down from a dad to a son like you, or a mom to a daughter, or even a grandpa to a dad to a son. I've had that happen before too. So it's kind of neat, and it's neat to hear how people can dream something up and then it's actually created. And
Yeah.
it creates either more safety. Well, that's probably the biggest, really, if we're thinking about it, right? Because flow is a nice thing, but creating safety is huge. So that's really a neat thing. So yeah, that's kind of what I've seen so far.
That's
And
great.
but yeah, for real, thank you for sharing with us. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, guys, so we were actually just talking after the podcast, and Sankalp said something really cool. So, if you're a new engineer, or even if you're a seasoned engineer, or if you're in middle school or high school thinking about becoming an engineer, can you share if someone's watching this and they're going, well, if there's like something that works to solve a problem in one area, and there's another area with that same problem, it does seem kind of intuitive that maybe just apply the same solution to the same problem. But you were saying not necessarily in the world of engineering.
Yeah, sometimes basically, suppose you have two similar locations, you are applying something, some countermeasure or some solution to a safety issue or operation issue in general, and you would think, okay, you worked at this prior location, kind of these countermeasures worked last time. What about the new location?
Right.
We can apply the same thing. But sometimes, based on the what community feedback we are getting or what we actually see while doing a field visit, things might be different, even though the locations look the same. The way the vehicles or like the basically the whoever is driving the route, um, the way the people respond to that driving condition can be different. It can be completely different. People can like really be aggressive on that route
Mm,
as compared to the previous route you were looking at. So things can be completely different. Even if you think it will be the same solution, it might not. And you will have to go back to your drawing board and assess things again based on the field conditions and what feedback your community is providing you.
and it's cool. That kind of ties into what you, and tell me if I'm wrong. It seems to tie into what you said earlier about staying curious and
Yeah.
exploring, and because it's that same, almost like There's okay in the music world. There's a guy named Yo-Yo Ma, and he plays the cello. Right, he's one of the best in the world, and he wrote a book called The Beginner's Mindset. He's a virtuoso and one of the best in the world, and yet he's saying it's fruitful and helpful to have the mindset of a beginner because he's always open to learn more. And that I
Yeah,
think that maybe is kind of somewhat what you're
yeah,
saying, right?
yeah. Kind of falls in that same realm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Wherever people go, one signal at a time, one project, one design, making tomorrow brighter than today. They're building better communities, keeping families safe on every street, helping traffic move, helping dreams come true, making life a little easier for me and you.